It's happening, guys. It's finally happening. Tyson Fury has given Francis Ngannou the terms for their boxing match, but Chael Sonnen thinks it's stupid, and he might be kinda right this time. Fury came forward last month to make his offer to Ngannou. Surprisingly, it wasn't boxing the Gypsy King had in mind, at least not the kind of boxing you're used to seeing.
Continues to whip those punches in, and Victor Lachlan says that's enough. It's not before time. Derek Chisora is beaten by Tyson Fury.
Even though the Predator offered to box, Tyson wasn't interested in that. Instead, he chose to make up something else entirely. Fury set the condition that if the fight was to happen, they were going to be fighting under Queensberry's rules. Yep, that's exactly what it sounds like. They're going to engage in a boxing match with 4-ounce gloves inside a cage. Confusing, right? Well, Sonnen is never the one to mince words. He just thinks it's the dumbest idea he has ever heard in the history of combat sports. And he's right. I mean, why would you wear MMA gloves to box? That doesn't make any sense. MMA gloves allow the fighters to grapple as well. But if they're not going to do that, why not use a proper boxing glove? That was really disappointing to hear, especially since this has been on the cards for a few months now. Francis even left the UFC to pursue boxing. He turned down $8 million just so he can box. That's a lot of money, guys. This was one of the main reasons anyway. And Fury comes out with an idea that he knows is going to sound I don't know what to say. This could have been the Predator's debut in the boxing ring. I mean, the guy is known to possess otherworldly power in his fist.
Up Mick Maynard's phone to try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Down goes the Reem. Francis Ngannou has arrived.
But does he have the skill to match that? That was the whole narrative going into this match. Chael thinks that setting up these conditions are just excuses by Fury. He's deliberately trying to make things complicated so that he can get out of doing it. That might be the case. See, the Gypsy King is more focused on unifying the heavyweight boxing titles right now.
Even than we hoped. Better. Wow. Sensational. A minute 10 into round number 11.
Who would know it would go like this?
Alexander Usyk is very much still on the cards, and that's the reason he came out of retirement. He may have been looking to get out of fighting Ngannou as Sonnen suggested, but that would have made sense if the Predator hadn't accepted the conditions. Oh yes, he did. Previously, Ngannou said that he's willing to take any kind of match against Tyson Fury, and true to his word, the former UFC heavyweight champion accepted the Gypsy King's conditions. As insane as it sounds, the Cameroonian is going to fight Fury with 4-ounce gloves inside the cage, with Queensberry boxing rules. What's more is that they're going to have a guest referee, the former world heavyweight champion, Iron Mike Tyson. You heard it right. This was another one of the conditions set by Fury, and Ngannou is cool with that too. I think these conditions overall favor Ngannou. He's more used to fighting with MMA gloves anyway. Plus, it'll give him the chance to land his powerful punches. You know, the ones he's really known for. Make no mistake, Fury can hit hard too, and he can take strikes as well. But you've got to wonder, with smaller gloves, will he be able to defend as effectively as he does in his boxing matches? Fighting in the cage is also very different. There's no give against the cage as compared to the ropes in the boxing ring. It completely changes how the fighter is supposed to move to avoid getting stuck in a corner. And then if there's someone like Iron Mike refereeing the match, he'll be willing to let these two guys fight through some unorthodox positions that a typical referee might not allow. Fury cannot by any means underestimate Ngannou. The guy packs some serious power. I mean, he has the world record for the most powerful punch. How do I know? Well, because the UFC measured it. In their Performance Institute back in 2017, they measured Ngannou's overhand right and also an uppercut from his right hand. It may not not seem that surprising to you now, knowing that he has knocked out some of the best heavyweights in the world. But back then, this was both impressive and scary. And his right hand may be hyped up a lot, but he seems to favor his left side a lot too, which is equally as damaging and has knocked out several opponents as well. Even though he is naturally right-handed, he throws punches from his left in an unorthodox stance. Based on the mechanics of that alone, his left uppercuts definitely add to his knockout power. He can also switch stances flawlessly due to his kickboxing experience. And if that all wasn't enough, the Cameroonian can throw combos. With a heavyweight like him, it's difficult to imagine him being able to throw 4 to 5 punches in combination. But that's not the case here, guys. He's definitely not heavy-handed like most heavyweights you might have seen. It's really rare, I know, but the former champion has demonstrated it before. He doesn't need that many punches to lay his opponents out cold though. On top of that, he knows how to close distances quickly, and he keeps coming forward, throwing jabs, crosses, and check hooks. He's the scary kind of pressure fighter who hits like a truck. And I'm not even going to tell you about his wrestling skills, which isn't a joke either. But let's be real, he's not going to need that against Fury. He's got something that every fighter needs though, the heart of a warrior. This guy has seen some tough times, like really tough. He grew up in a country with next to no resources, tried escaping to France, was caught by the Moroccan forces, and dropped in the desert. Not once, not twice, 6 times. And each time he walked through the desert until he finally somehow made it to France. The mental fortitude, the sheer force of will required to do something like that. Things were never easy for the champ, but he made it. And that's something that can't be taught. But on the other side of the matchup is Tyson Fury, and the guy has literally perfected every technique there is. He may not look like it, but the Gypsy King is one of the most technical boxers out there.
Dillian White.
I know, guys, it's hard to believe. The guy is 6'9" and looks like a lump. And I really can't blame you for thinking that. But the guy can move. I mean, he started training at the age of 10 and went pro by the time he was 19. But the best thing that I absolutely love about him, he has no set style. That's the beauty. You never know what he's going to bring to the ring, and he can switch things up whenever he wants. That just makes him difficult to predict and even more demanding to prepare against. With a guy as big as him, you'd expect him to throw some really devastating punches, but he rarely does that. Instead, uses his complete arsenal to tire the competition out. His footwork may not be as slick as that of the great Muhammad Ali, but he definitely moves well. His defense is the best in the heavyweight right now. He ducks, parries, shoulder rolls, and slips almost effortlessly. So much so that he causes his opponents to get frustrated and start throwing wild punches at him. This just gives him an opening to start going to work and land his power shots. The man is a machine, and there's a reason why he's the best in the world at what he does. That's been all the latest on Ngannou versus the Gypsy King. See you in the next one.